Hey, welcome to Watch or Don't. Dan, Matt, Kat here today. We are reviewing Pixar's The Good Dinosaur. It is the second Pixar film of the year, which is interesting. You don't usually get two Pixar films in a year. The Good Dinosaur is about it takes place in a world where the famous asteroid doesn't take out the dinosaurs, and they slowly evolve into, not modern times, but they start to live with,
Dinosaurs farm, apparently, in this film.
They evolve into more sentient beings.
Right.
But The Good Dinosaur is about a young, what would you say, like a brontosaurus? That kind of long-necked dinosaur.
The long-necked dinosaurs.
Anyway, he's part of a family. He gets separated from his family, and the movie is about basically him trying to get back to his home. And on the way, he meets a young human, which he calls Spot. And he runs into other dinosaurs, other creatures. It's a very classic, find your way home tale.
Right, Pixar.
And now, see, that's the thing. Okay, so this is Pixar. I would argue this is more Disney than Pixar.
Yeah, if they had more music, possibly. Okay. But like most Pixar, there's no music, and I almost feel like there should be a song every now and then.
It's a very classic tale. The original idea of it is pretty interesting. Like the dinosaurs living with people, but the actual execution of it is very standard. Right. Not that there's anything wrong with it. This movie's very sweet.
Right. And like most Pixar, they'll tug at your heartstrings. They're a master of emotion manipulation.
They do, and it's nice. It's beautiful to look at. It just doesn't take as many chances as other Pixar films, at least the good Pixar films.
Which just makes me feel like they played it safe. I know you were explaining in a previous trailer they showed for this movie when it was first coming out, they were going to go another direction, and then they reworked the script.
Yeah.
So I think it seems a lot safer than it should be.
So, Kat, you want to jump in at all with this before we jump into the history?
Like you said, it has kind of like the classic, just like Disney movie. Like it's like there's no surprises really. It's just kind of like this is how a Disney movie works. And I feel like they just try to coast on that train. Like they're like, oh, let's just make another movie where we just have this like
meet a character, parent dies, find a way home type thing, right?
So let's talk about the history of the project, because I think a lot of people have heard about this. This movie's been in production for like 6 years with a kind of a new director to Pixar's world, and he worked on it with a bunch of different voice actors. They had the whole thing nailed down pretty much completely, and then just a couple of years ago, Pixar stepped in and fired the director. Hired the director of this now is Peter Sohn, and basically the big Pixar brass, John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, the big directors kind of took this project and kind of reworked it, and I don't think you can really tell. There's a nice little coherent story here.
Right.
But it feels like it is missing something.
You want more, I feel like.
We don't know what the original product was. Maybe they completely salvaged this and just made what they could out of it. We don't really know.
No, I would say this is definitely a good dinosaur. I'm not completely sorry. I couldn't resist. Yeah. I'm not blown away, too safe, but it is really nice to look at.
I think the tricky thing with this film is it's going to be constantly compared to Inside Out. It's the other Pixar one this year, and it's never going to live up to that standard.
I hope they don't do that, because that's really not fair.
Well, but it is. It's Pixar. Like Pixar was in a rut last 5 years. Not a rut, but just it wasn't quite as high as they usually are.
Right.
And then Inside Out came along, and people were like, Pixar's back. And this movie was really pre-Inside Out. This is an older movie that kind of reworked.
Right.
And I wouldn't say it's a letdown, but it's not the same level by far.
So that being said, there's some I haven't seen. Like I haven't seen the original Cars, so shame on me. Where do you rate this with other Pixar? Like where do you say it fits in with?
This is mid-tier, low mid-tier. This is better than Cars 2. I would argue it's better than Brave. Maybe I don't know. It's tough. It's not.
Would you put WALL-E above this?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, WALL-E's tricky. Some people. Okay, that was a mistake.
It's it's not definitely not the most unique thing they've done, but it's still a enjoyable enough movie, and I think it's interesting to look at. I would say the animation in this is actually better than Inside Out, from a pure technical standpoint.
Right, I agree.
But you can't top Inside Out's like story and uniqueness.
If only they could have shared when we had the story.
I think Inside Out's animation works. It's just
it does.
This one just looked a little cleaner and a little nicer. I don't know. They're both good.
Right, they're both good.
Let's jump into ratings here.
Sure.
I'm giving this a 7.9 out of 10. Solid animation movie. I think bring the kids, bring the family. It's a good time for all. It's nice and short, beautiful to look at. It just doesn't live up to the Pixar name in a lot of ways. But that being said, I still enjoyed The Good Dinosaur.
Kat?
I would give it, I think, B minus. I feel like I was expecting like a C. I was expecting like I wasn't ready to be blown away by it because I feel like I hadn't heard a lot about it, and that kind of made me nervous because I was like, are they not telling us a lot about this movie for a reason? Mm-hmm. But I liked some of the voice acting in it. I liked Sam Elliott. And he, I just like waiting for like the dinosaur to be like, give me a sarsaparilla.
Yeah, Sam Elliott plays like an old dinosaur, old wise dinosaur.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I liked that, and I liked, like you said, like it was beautiful to look at, and yeah, I don't know. Overall, I thought it was good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. So
it does seem weird having to say that all the time. It was good. The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah, that's good.
That being said, to follow that, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
I wasn't blown away. I too had low expectations, but it didn't exceed, even those low. It just kind of met like this was good Pixar. It didn't take any chances, like I've said. It's a safe movie. Like it had to do, and it's pretty sad. I would say this has maybe more sad parts than any of the other Pixar movies that I
don't know about that.
Okay, it's got a lot though.
It does.
There was a little kid in the theater crying.
Emotional. It's emotional.
It was a little sad.
I would say still take your family. It's a good family.
Right, yeah, don't let that take back.
Especially for Thanksgiving. It's a good family movie.
It's good.
Anyway, we got to go. We're watching or don't. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time.